Ensuring diversity at work is a moral imperative. However, there's a very strong business case for companies to create an inclusive environment. Inclusion creates a work or even social environment where everyone feels valued, feels respected, and feels supported. It means actively working to develop a sense of belonging for all members, regardless of their differences. Inclusion takes diversity a step further, and it's about creating a culture that recognizes and values diversity and promotes equity and fairness for all. In her book, Which Two Heads Are Better Than One?, Juliet Burke discusses how diverse teams create breakthrough ideas and make smarter decisions. She explains the extraordinary power of diversity of thinking and inclusive leadership. She shares that organizations with inclusive cultures are 2 times as likely to meet or even exceed financial targets. They are 3 times as likely to be high performing. They are 6 times more likely to be innovative and agile. And they are 8 times more likely to achieve better business outcomes. So when we consider all of these benefits, it's no wonder that there's so much talk about the importance of fostering an inclusive culture in companies, and every one of us has a part to play in achieving this. Now, despite the considerable advances made in diversity and inclusion space, particularly in recent years, several barriers still need to be overcome. Barriers like bias, a lack of diversity in leadership, inadequate policy, stereotypes. You see, what should we do when we encounter non-inclusive behavior that's not congruent with our organization's values? And the answer is, we challenge that behavior. Now, by challenge, I mean having a direct conversation with the individual who has misstepped. Now, we do have a very simple, effective tool that helps you to challenge non-inclusive behavior. And I'm going to share that in my next video. But for today, I want to focus us on why we must challenge non-inclusive behaviors. You see, we do so because it's essential for you, because inclusion is a performance prerogative. Inclusion is the foundation for building those high-performing teams. And who wouldn't want that? In the world of work, we're interested in helping to create a high-performing team. You choose to challenge non-inclusive behavior because your organization's values actually demand it. Like me, your personal values demand that you act to preserve safety and preserve human dignity. You need to challenge non-inclusive behavior because you understand the risk to the business. You see, non-inclusive behaviors have implications which are ranging from poor team performance all the way to public scandal or even worse. It's imperative that you challenge non-inclusive behavior, because your silence in the face of someone else's marginalization through bias or prejudice will be seen as complicity. People will think, well, Gina heard and saw what was said and done. Gina did nothing about it. Perhaps Gina agrees with it. Don't let your silence in the face of someone else's marginalization be seen as complicity. And then finally, you choose to challenge non-inclusive behavior because you want your colleagues to have the experience that they have been promised. Now, most organizations have career pages that promise beautiful experiences when colleagues work there. You want that to be true. Now, we all of us have a part to play in fostering an inclusive culture. But very often colleagues talk about the many reasons that we have for not challenging. They might feel that it feels awkward. It's time consuming. It's actually quite a difficult thing to do. But these should not stop us from doing so. It's important that we challenge non-inclusive behavior when we come across it. Now, I want to remind you that behavior change, like everything else, it begins with taking those small steps. So I want you to consider our start, stop, study, personal action plan. Think of one specific behavior or even habit that you're going to start doing to be a better ally to your colleagues. Now, I'd encourage you to come up with specific small actions rather than sweeping generic statements like, oh, I'm going to be nicer. I'm going to be more inclusive. Be specific. Think about your typical day and the interactions that you have. What can you do in each moment to improve and to expand your culture for the better? Then I want you to decide one behavior or one thing that you're going to stop doing as a colleague or even as a leader that's going to create a more inclusive culture in your immediate team. And then, of course, there is so much more to learn. What is one thing that you're going to start to study to prepare yourself for the next conversation that you have about inclusive cultures in your team? Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts, so please share them in the comments below. Thank you for watching.